All right. Welcome back to Eyes Open Media. Let's talk about the national reconciliation. The United Nations have been pushing this on Iraq heavily. Um, if you remember, if you guys have been following Iraq, I know a lot of you guys are on this channel are following other things like Bitcoin and other investments, not just Iraq. Taking your mind off of Iraq because Iraq is playing games with the world. Iraq, they're taking their sweet time to even start fully in Western Mosul. They're playing a lot of games. Let's put it that way. They don't want to return to the international world. And only a few of them do. Most of them don't want to return because they know it's a lot of work. I don't blame them. It's a lot of work to be back into the international world on a daily basis with all restrictions removed. It's a lot of responsibility, and you can't fail because if you fail, it's basically over. You basically are done, right? If you fail, so there's no more bailouts. I mean, the world has given this country so much money over the last 13 years already. So yeah, it's quite interesting. Okay, so this talks about United Nations declares its readiness to support the reconciliation in Iraq, and the United Nations had just been putting out articles after articles after articles about Iraq and how they are so ready to get this thing done because they need the money. I keep telling you guys on my main channel, on the 365 main channel, the United Nations needs the money. Okay, so because America Trump is going to be cutting half of their revenue, Israel is too, and other countries are going to as well. United Nations are struggling financially, and they have all these currencies and stuff of these countries, and I'm pretty sure they have every currency that we talked about, all the emerging market currencies. They have it, and they're just and they're now pushing these countries to let's go, let's move it. We need the funding. So that works in our favor because we never seen the United Nations be disinvolved with a country. Okay, I mean, putting together the national reconciliation and telling them that what they must do and all types of stuff, man. It's been kind of crazy, and to see the United Nations play this role of desperation. And they need the value to go up. They need Iraq to return to the international world so they can get that revenue, okay, and be able to fund their stuff. So yeah, it's very interesting, and it's going to be kind of interesting to see what they do with Iran because they also are probably heavily invested in Iran as well, and they would love to see all those, the Americas and Trump find some type of negotiation where they lift those sanctions. Banking sanctions off Iran, so they can also get the money from the Iranian rial revaluation as well. Um, Okay, so you have here United Nations declares its readiness to support the reconciliation in Iraq. It says President Food Masoon, which is the guy right here, you guys all know, the infallible, that's what they call him, with the special representative of the Secretary General of the United Nations in Iraq, Kubis. Okay, we know that Kubis has been there working for a minute now. International community supports for Iraq's political national reconciliation, and we know Hakim Al Amir Hakim, the president of the National Alliance, is the one that's head of the national reconciliation. Okay, it's not a body, it's not President. Food Masoon. It's not Jabari the speaker. It's Hakim. Okay, so that's very important. And the reconstruction plans, while the United Nations said in support of Iraq's plans in terms of the protection of displaced people and the eradication of terrorism and political reconciliation. Yeah, so the reconciliation is going to be everything. Okay, it's gonna be the support of the whole entire country, It's going to be the unity between the Kurds. This is one of the reasons why Hakeem went to Kurdistan region to to do paperwork, and also the national reconciliation, and also the oil and gas deal. Okay, we need to see a rate before we see these things. I believe that we need to see a 1-to-1 rate before we see the national reconciliation and the HCL oil and gas law. I already told you about the HCL oil and gas law. To see the full HCL oil and gas law in Parliament and voted on and activated, we need to see a 1-to-1. Okay, there's no point of doing it unless you see a 1-to-1. Okay, or 2-to-1 or whatever the case is going to be. So same thing here. National reconciliation. We need to see a rate. We need to see a rate. We need to see a new rate for the national currency before they activate this. And they already told us they want to activate this after Western Mosul is given. So we need to see a new rate. We need to see a new rate. Let's see here. Where am I at? It says according to the presidential statement on Tuesday that the infallible stressed during a meeting at a peace palace in Baghdad with Qubas the need to protect the lives of civilians during the heroic operations waged by the armed forces to complete the liberation of the city of Mosul. Now, here's the thing. Mosul has been invaded since summer of 2014. Why are people still there? Why are citizens still in territories where they know aircrafts are bombing and stuff? 2 years, 3 years, 3 years later, you're still in the same area that bombed. I mean, you telling me you can't move? You can't grab your stuff and your family and move to a safe location or safe tents and things of that nature until like come on, like that doesn't make any sense. Like, we know Eastern Mosul is back, so everybody's coming back, but Western Mosul, why is there so many people and citizens in Western Mosul knowing that Western Mosul is getting bombed? Like, why are you there? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Why not go to Eastern Mosul where it's safe? You know what I mean? Like, why are you sticking around in Western Mosul and knowing that bombs are being thrown and military people are coming in? That doesn't make any. This is why I believe in my heart that they are just telling us a lot of bullcrap. Okay, because common sense would be, if Western Mosul is the last spot, all the citizens would be in Eastern Mosul. Because Eastern Mosul is completed, everybody that's in Western Mosul would be now in Eastern Mosul, so they can allow the bombs and the military to go in there and get everything out. And then, if you're ISIS and Daesh members, why in the world would you even be in Western Mosul, knowing that they're going to be blowing it up and sending a million troops in there? Okay, this is not making common sense. Okay, and so it's very, very stressful. Not stressful like in life, because I'm in other businesses. It's stressful that why would they just stop? Why are they playing these games and telling these lies? Why would there be 700,000 people in Western Mosul trapped? If Western Mosul was when these things have been invaded long time ago, these Western Mosul people. Eastern Mosul has been completed for 3 weeks now. You would think common sense. Let's go to Eastern Mosul until Western Mosul is complete. Common sense. I mean, my God. Oh man, I tell you. Anyways, I guess a lot of people around the world don't have common sense, and we're starting to realize that a lot of Americans don't have common sense either. My goodness, walking around and marching around with vagina costumes on and stuff. I mean, my goodness gracious, we have lost our mind in this world. Okay, so let's see here. I don't even know what I was talking about. It says the urge of the international community to step up and support Iraq. I keep hearing the same thing about international support. There's 1 million troops in the area. I mean, international support. There's 1 million troops in around Syria and Iraq right now. Come on, like, this is ridiculous. I think we're sending 45,000 U.S. troops to Western Mosul. Unbelievable. Like, there's a million troops of international coalition troops all around Iraq and Syria, and they continue to talk about they need international help. It's already there, and already there to the max. And for post RV. Okay, now and I hope Donald Trump comes out. If they keep dragging this on, I hope Donald Trump comes out and says, "Look, you got this. You got 1 week to get to invade Western Mosul, or we're gonna do it ourselves, and then we're gonna take over your country." Point blank and simple. I mean, we're just tired of the lies, man. Okay, so let's go here, and it says the infallible, according to statements from this satisfaction with the results of his recent visit to the Kherson region, was stressed to strengthen trust and understanding between the federal government and the Kherson region government. Okay, relations also praised the coordination and cooperation between the army and the federal police and Peshmerga forces in the battlefield against the terrorist gang. Okay, now this is awesome because the Kurds and Baghdad have to sign the herbal agreement. They have to sign the herbal agreement. Okay, which is I'm pretty sure they have some type of herbal agreement already signed, but they have to pass the oil and gas law in Parliament. And guess why they're holding it? They're holding it because they need to increase the value. Before they can activate the oil and gas law, they have to increase the value. It would make no sense to have an oil and gas law activated where you're going to be paying back pay, billions of dollars in back pay to the citizens, and then start to get the citizens purchasing monthly revenues from the oil. Okay, maybe I don't it's supposed to be monthly revenues from the oil. It might be, they might make it every quarter or whatever, but I think they should just go do it every month. But whatever the case may be, they'll do whatever they want to do. But yeah, so it would be the dumbest thing to pass the oil and gas law without changing the rate, because you don't want to use the program rate at all for this. And also returning to the international states with the national reconciliation law. Okay, so it says here that the meeting dealt with the activities of the United Nations missions program to help Iraq in the recent period, and accept Kubas the results of his visit to the United Nations in New York, and his meeting with the new Secretary General Antonio Guterres stresses the readiness of the United Nations to support Iraq's plan in terms of the protection of displaced people and the eradication of terrorism and political reconciliation. Also conveyed. Okay. All right. So, and the military victories and stuff like that. Okay. So yeah. So I think that's cool. Okay. Once again, we're hearing the same thing for the last 3 weeks, as they gave us Eastern Mosul. This national reconciliation thing just exploded. As soon as they raised that big flag in Eastern Mosul, this national reconciliation thing just exploded. Okay, so it's kind of interesting. In my opinion, Western Mosul's not a big deal. It's smaller than in the Eastern Mosul, and it's got different things in Eastern Mosul. Eastern Mosul has the universities and the economic side of it. Western Mosul is just maybe the refineries and some other type of stuff in there, and a lot of rural areas in the western parts. So it is what it is. We could see something. We could see maybe a change right when they launch Western Mosul, invasion, or we could see a change during Western Mosul invasion, or we could see a change right after. But a change is coming because the United Nations need the money. And that's good for us. You know what I mean? The United Nations, how many times have you seen United Nations flying into countries begging these people to finish the job? Okay? They're begging these people to finish and launch this national reconciliation. We even had the U.S. Treasury fly into Iraq and praise them about the e-dinars and electronic banking. So let's wait. Let's wait and see what happens here. Let's see if we get a change in value right on the start of Western Musil, or in between, or right at the end. All right. Either way, we're gonna get a change in rate. We're gonna get a change in rate because the United Nations desperately need it. All right. Talk to you guys later. Eyes open.